Desperation is a universal feeling that we have all experienced and we all know too well causes things to run from us rather than run to us. Whether it's people, whether it's experiences, opportunities, whatever it may be. It's a feeling and it's a terrible feeling, and there's a very specific reason why we cultivate desperation inside of us. And today I'm going to tell you exactly how to truly remove that desperation to make way for the thing or the person or the experiencing that you have been wanting. My name is Naomi Dunn. I'm an inner work coach, and this is Disrupt Your Norm, where I help you disrupt your current norm to help bring you to a better norm. All right, desperation. So, there's only one reason why we want anything in this world. The only reason we ever want anything is to obtain a feeling. The only reason you want wealth is because of the feeling that could come from it. The only reason you want that partner is because of the feeling that would come from having that person. The only reason we want anything in this world is because we want the feeling that would come from having the thing. So the first thing you need to do if you are being desperate for something is to ask yourself, what feeling am I trying to get? You're not trying to get the money. You're not trying to get the person. You're not trying to get the opportunity. You're only trying to get the feeling that would come from getting one of those things. That's all you're really trying to get. And you may immediately say, I want success, I want wealth because I want the feeling of being rich, or I want the feeling of being financially secure, which yes, those very well may be true, but really ask yourself, what's the true feeling? Because something that I commonly see is that the true feeling people are searching for when they're trying to get these goals, these people, these opportunities, is they're searching for a sense of validation. They're searching for the feeling that they are enough. They're searching for the feeling that they are worthy of love. They're searching for the feeling of validation. And yes, yours could be security because maybe you didn't have a secure childhood. Yes, yours could be love because you didn't have enough love in your life. Yes, it could be all those things, but ask yourself, what's the true feeling here? Do I want security because I have these chaotic memories in my mind and in my body of my childhood where everything was so insecure, including our finances, that I'm trying to combat that now to feel secure? What's the feeling that you're searching for? When you know the feeling, and when you realize that the thing you're searching for is not the object, it's not the physical external thing in your reality, it's nothing to do with that. It's only to do with how you want to internally feel once you get the thing. When you realize that, you can say to yourself, how can I start giving myself this feeling now? And don't click off this video because you say that's pointless advice. Here's the thing. Without giving yourself the feeling before you obtain the feeling, the thing that you're trying to get is going to be running away from you. When we are desperate in life, we send out an energy signal that causes things to repel us. Needy energy is truly the bulletproof way for what you want to start running away from you. I have this perfect and prime example of when I was 8 years old and I was pet sitting or minding this dog, this family friend's dog, and I was playing with it in the garden. And like I said, I think I was 8 years old. And this dog escaped from the garden and started running as fast as it could down the street. Now keep in mind, I believe I was 8 years old. I was overweight, never exercised, and the only time I ran was to run to the kitchen fridge, okay? So I start sprinting for this dog. I'm sprinting for my life, and if you probably saw me from the outside, I was probably running very slow, but in my mind, I was sprinting as fast as I could, okay? I'm sprinting, and my eyes are on the dog. I'm sweating, I'm crying, I'm calling the dog's name, and the dog only starts running faster and faster and faster from me. My demeanor in that moment was the definition of desperation. I was running after a dog who I was afraid was going to get hit by a car, so I was more than desperate. to get this dog back, okay? And that desperation, what did the dog start doing? The dog started running faster. The dog started running further away from me. Now, the dog was fine in the end, but that is the perfect example of what it can look like when we're so desperate for things in life. The more we want it, the more it runs faster and further away from us. And this is why it's so important to nip it in the bud. Have you ever started dating somebody, or you had a past partner, or you saw somebody with someone who you thought to yourself, they're not typically that person's type or my type. They're not typically, someone I would usually go for, but something about their energy said that they didn't necessarily need you. They just wanted to be with you. They had this state of flow about them. They had this confidence. They had this demeanor that said, I don't need you. I'm not desperate for you, but I would like to date you, or I would like to date this person. Those are the people who attract people. They're not needing the other person to fill them up in some way, to fill their emotion that they've already filled in themselves. So this is why we have to sort out this desperate energy, either before or during, when we're trying to achieve that goal or do that thing or date that person, whatever it may be. We have to sort it out. Because maybe you'll get it initially, but how long is that going to last for you if you were so desperate for it just to get a feeling? When that feeling runs out, because if you're trying to get something to feel worthy, you'll never feel worthy by getting anything external in your life ever, 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 ever. When that feeling runs out, you'll be desperate for something else to give you this feeling that you could have given yourself the entire time. And it's only going to create this cycle that's never ending. So that's why it truly does need to be sorted out now. So think of that feeling you are desperate for. Like I said, you're not desperate for the person. You're not desperate for the experience. You're not desperate for the wealth. You're not desperate for all these things. You're desperate for the feeling first. You're desperate for the security, for the knowing that you're enough, for the love, whatever it may be. That's what you're desperate for. How can you start giving that feeling to yourself? And when you give yourself the thing that you're desperate for, suddenly you're no longer desperate for it. Why? Because you have it. You have it already. And of course, most of us have lived our entire lives craving this feeling of self-worth, this feeling of being enough, craving this feeling of, security. So it can be initially a very uncomfortable thing to try and give to yourself because you're not used to it. But dedicating yourself to fill your cup in that way, fill yourself with that emotion, with that feeling already now, dedicating yourself to that is a dedication that is priceless. It's a dedication that will not go miss. It's a dedication that you're going to look back on however many days, weeks, months, or years later, you're going to look back on and say, wow, I am so grateful I started giving that feeling to myself, because look how it changed the path of my life. Look at the opportunities that came in. Look at the partner I ended up with. Look at the security I obtained, because I dedicated to myself to stop being desperate for the thing and to start giving it to myself, so that when I did go for it, it came so much easier. Yes, you can get rid of your feeling of desperation. You just have to know, one, what am I truly trying to get? Because it's only ever a feeling. What is the feeling I'm trying to get? And how can I start giving it to myself now? My last tip for all of this is for you to remember that where your focus goes, your energy flows. So do not ever focus on this empty cup. Do not ever focus on the lack of the feeling you're trying to get. I don't care if you're in debt. I don't care if you've been single your entire life. Do not focus on your loneliness, and do not focus on your lack of security. Focus on the areas you already are secure. Focus on the areas you already do have love. Focus on those areas and focus on how you can give that to yourself now. When you focus on the cup being full rather than empty, the cup will truly become full much quicker. This awareness is truly profound, to really break free from this desperation and stop seeing the thing that you want as a physical thing. The thing that you want is a feeling, and it's a feeling you can give yourself right now.